Good evening, everyone, again on this 23rd day. And the subject today is overcoming our fears, going deeper and overcoming our fears. And the slide that was shown earlier was about stepping back from ourselves. And actually, we have to do very little with this meditation. All we have to do is make ourselves available every day, preferably in the morning and in the evening, and just meditate. Just put our hands palm upwards on our lap and sit in silence. And this mothering energy, this Kundalini energy within us, does all the work for us. But the slide that you saw as you were entering about overcoming our fears was that if we meditate, we actually create a distance between ourselves and our fears. We start to see them as if they belong to somebody else. You can take something even really simple, like sometimes we don't have that conversation that we really ought to be having because we're afraid of the consequences. We don't want to hurt anyone. We don't want anyone to hurt us. We don't want to fall out. But somehow when you develop this distance, there's a detachment that comes. And then somehow we're able to do what is best in a situation. Fear also is something that's very concrete, and it's within our subtle system, and we can work on it. And that's what we're going to do today. So let's actually now raise our Kundalini and put on a bandhan before we see the first slide. So you come up with the left hand, up to the top of the head, and tie a knot. And then a second time, up to the top of the head, and tie a knot. And then a third time up to the top of the head and tie 3 knots, which integrates the left, the right, and the center channel. And then a bandhan, which is an arch or the sign of an omega 7 times for the 7 chakras or energy centers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Shri Mataji would always say, do this with great attention and dedication. Make sure you really go over the top of your head and come back again. Okay, so if we may just see the slide of the 3 channels. So you have this slide in the resources, but basically fear is something that can affect all of the subtle system, which is a good thing because it means it can be cleared out of all of the subtle system just through the process of meditation, foot soaking, using an ice pack. So our emotions are in the left side, but then what's in the left side forces us to act. So we might behave in ways which are not really for our benevolence because we're driven by fear. But through the process of meditation, you come into the central channel, which is the present. And this is then where this balance, evolution, and spiritual growth occurs. And this is when you then become separated from your fears and from the conditionings that make you behave in a certain way, which actually perhaps helps those fears to grow, rather than us behaving in a way that makes us realize that it's all in our head. And actually, in the very center of the heart, this chakra here, we can actually literally help bring the quality of courage through working on this chakra. And just to see the slide of the hands for a moment. So actually on our hands, so here you can see on the subtle system, the number 4 is the heart. And there's a heart on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side, and in the center. And the heart in the center, called the center heart, where the antibodies are created in the sternum bone when we are children, and where the immune system is located. But we can actually start to strengthen this immune system. So it acts in a physical way as well as a subtle way. Thank you for showing that. And then on your hands, you'll see number 4, which is the 2 little fingers. And on the right hand is the right heart, on the left hand is the left heart. But if you feel both fingers together, that is the center heart. Okay, so we're going to do a little meditation now to help strengthen the center heart. And Priti, who is doing this evening with me, will follow up after Shri Mataji's talk. Hello, Priti.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Yes.
So
looking forward for it. Thank you.
So we just close our eyes, hands palm upwards on our lap. And just breathe in and out slowly from the tummy a couple of times. And as the breath comes out, just let it bring with it all stress and tension. Because stress increases our fears. And if there's a tiger in front of you, then you have a right to be afraid. But stress-induced fear is not helpful and not necessary. So we'll just drop both hands towards the ground. And you can just let the Mother Earth, and just ask the Mother Earth to absorb all the negativity, all the stress and strains of the day. Please, Mother Earth, absorb all my stress and all my fears, all tension. Please take it away from me. Because all the elements are our friend. And now you can bring the hands back to the lap. And now we're just going to drop, for a minute, just drop only the left hand towards the ground. And this helps to clean the lower chakras of the right side. And now bend the left hand at the elbow and let the hand, the palm, face towards the back of the room. And this particularly helps to clear the upper chakras or energy centers in the right side. So let all stress, all negativity be cleared into the ether. And let yourself breathe deeply from the tummy and fill the lungs. And now bring the left hand to the lap. I'm just going to sit for a couple of minutes in silence. And now we're going to try something. So take the right hand and the fingers of the right hand, just put them here where it was indicated. And don't be afraid, we can all do this together. And we're just going to make the sound, and it's the sound of bees humming, but it's the sound mm. So let's really go for it. It helps to clear this energy center. And we'll do it 4 times. And breathe in. Breathe in. One last time. When I do that, I can always feel it vibrating in my inner ear. It sort of clears the vibration. So let's just sit for 1 more minute before we listen to Shri Mataji's talk.
So one has to understand that to get peace, we have to go beyond this mind. This mind is the one which reacts and creates problem for us, makes us believe into things, and we are conditioned. We are not free people. Free people to understand what is reality. The reality is beyond the mind. Now, how to cross the limit of mind? Like once a doctor in Switzerland said, "Mother, you do what you like, you can cut my throat, but stop these thoughts, they are bombarding me." You cannot stop, because a thought rises and falls off, another thought rises and falls on. These thoughts come to us from the past or from the future. You are not in the present. You cannot be in the present. But when this power that is described to you already, known as the Kundalini, rises, then she takes your attention beyond the thought, beyond the mind, and that is the place where resides the present, the reality. Now this special thing as called as Kundalini is not to be discarded because coming from India. It has been described in every scripture. Even in the Bible it's described that I'll appear before you like tongues of flames. These are the tongues of flames you see along the path of the Kundalini. Also Muhammad Sahib has said very clearly in his Quran that if you want to know God, you must know yourself. Christ has said, know thyself. All of them have said the same thing. If you see Zen system or Lao Tse, Confucius, any one of them, they all said that unless and until you know yourself, you are not there. You have no identity. But knowing yourself is very important because you are the treasure of knowledge. You are the treasure of wisdom and divine discretion. It's all within you, which you should know without any efforts. Effortless, Sahaja. Saha means with, Ja means born. Born with you is the right to get your self-realization. It's your birthright to have it, and in these modern times it has been made very, very easy somehow to get this realization. In our country also, all the saints have described about achievement of yourself. Sahaja word is used by so many saints, especially by Guru Nanaka, who says Sahaja Samadhi Lav. Whatever you have to get in your awareness, Samadhi is awareness, has to be in a Sahaj, means a spontaneous manner. So for this you don't have to stand on your head, you don't have to run away from your families, you don't have to starve or fast. You've done it. You've done it in your last lives. Now, in this life you should have the fruits of your hard work that you have put in to express your desire to be one with the divine. The first truth is that you are not this body, this mind, these conditionings, this ego, these emotions, but you are the pure spirit. The second truth is very much evident, but we are not bothered to know it. For example, you see these beautiful flowers, beautiful trees all around. It's a miracle. See, every tree is different, every seed is different, and all flowers are different, their fragrance is different. It's a miracle that is created, but we take it for granted. If you ask a doctor who runs your heart, he'll say it's autonomous nervous system. But who is this auto? Who is the one who does it? They don't know. At the most they can say it is autonomous nervous system. Beyond these systems, we have the system here of these three channels. And these three channels, left and right channel, look after your right and left sympathetic nervous system, which are responsible on the right side for your physical and mental activity, on the left hand side for your emotional activity. In the center, there are these two sympathetics. They form a loop like this, and the chakras, the centers, are created. These centers are responsible for our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual being. But when we start exhausting whatever limited energy it has, then we start developing either physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual problems. If somehow we can save these centers from a state of jeopardy, we can solve the problem of physical problem, of say, mental problems, and also emotional, spiritual problems. You can diagnose a person on your fingertips, because these fingertips, 5, 6, and 7, are denoting your centers within yourself. They get enlightened. So with the light of the Spirit, when you are enlightened, you really become an enlightened person. It is not just a certificate, I am this, I am that. It is something that happens to your awareness. The first thing that happens, as I told you, you go beyond the mind, that you become thoughtlessly aware. In Sanskrit we call it Nirvichar Samadhi. It is an instant happening. Maybe the modern times are such that the Kundalini rises like a jet. And in thousands of people it has worked out. But to establish that situation of thoughtless awareness, you have to meditate at the most for 10 minutes in the evening. But immediately you will feel absolutely peaceful. You will feel like a witness of the whole drama that is going on. And with that drama, you will be able to see that there's nothing to be afraid of, nothing to be worried. Because you are out of that problem, you can solve it. Like if you are standing in the water, in the sea, and it's turbulent, you see the waves rising higher and higher, you are frightened. But supposing you can get into a boat, then you can watch the same scene with such attention and with enjoyment, because you know it cannot hurt you. But supposing you can jump into the sea because you are a great swimmer, you can save many others. So in the second state, where you become doubtlessly aware, you become all-powerful because you can give realizations to others. It's like one enlightened light or a candle can enlighten many candles. You can give realizations to many people.
Pretty, if you'd like to unmute.
Okay. So we are just going to meditate for some time and really implement what Shri Mataji has just spoken, and just absorb the principle of Sahaja Yoga through that. So let's close our eyes. And let the attention be in the center, the central axis, which is from the base of the spine up to the top of the head. If you wish, you can help your attention by the hand movement. So left hand remains open and the right hand moves in front of your body along the central axis. and bring it to the top of the head and touch it there. Second time, the right hand going up from the base of the spine. Bring it up to the center of the chest and place the palm there. Area which we call central heart. Take a deep breath and expand your chest. And as we breathe out, let everything go away. All the stress, all the worries, any baggage. Maybe a couple of more times. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And here, completely be detached from any fear, any insecurity, any anxiety. And firmly, with full confidence, say, I'm not that. I'm not any fear. I'm not any insecurity. I'm not any anxiety, but I am absolute truth. You can repeat it a couple of times. We can address our mother power within ourselves, which gives us the security. Mother, I am secure, I'm protected, I'm fearless, because I am the truth. And very gently bring that same hand on top of the head and bring the attention with the hand on top of the head. Press it firmly. Raise the hand further higher, few inches. Leave the attention there and bring the hand down. The key is to sustain that gap, expand that gap in between the thoughts. So take no part in any thought. No thought is bigger than our pure desire to get completely established in our yoga. So firmly say, not now. I'm not any small thought, but I am the absolute silence. So let's for a few minutes stay in that gap. So just take a second to register this state. And know with full confidence that this security is within us. So now we are going to raise the Kundalini and put ourselves into Bandhan like how we did in the beginning of meditation. So let's all do it collectively with full attention and respect. And third time. And then what we call as Bandhan, from left hip to the right and back 7 times. And at the end, I always like to express my gratitude within our hearts for this feeling of peace within ourselves and for this experience of yoga, for our self-realization. So you can do that in your own way, either by placing your hand on your heart or by joining both hands and bowing your head a little bit in humility. So maybe Philippa would like to come back and give us some
Next part.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pretty. After that, you don't really feel like speaking.
Yeah, that's true.
And the strength when we all meditate together. So powerful, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Anyway, if there's anybody here who has not got their self-realization, then just raise your hand and you can go into a special room to get your self-realization, because it's Thursday today and Thursday is breakout room day. And what are the things that we need to say briefly? So first of all, if you don't have a mentor, get yourself a mentor. You can ask all the questions that you want to. So there's the link in the chat, or you can scan the QR code and get yourself a mentor. Then what was the other thing? That the next meditation is on Monday, and that's getting things done without effort. And that's at 7:45 in the evening. And you know also, so Mondays and Thursdays, there's 7:45 meditation, but Monday to Friday, British summertime in the UK, 6 a.m. is a silent meditation. I bet that's lovely. I bet that's lovely. Anyway, now it's breakout room time. Thank you for being with us. It's lovely to meditate together, isn't it, Pretty?
Absolute. Thank you, everyone. And let's see you all in breakout rooms.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh.